Okay, I'm going live here. Let me get my screen set up. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, Elliott Wave Sage, like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education, entertainment purposes only. Yeah, I've been out of pocket with a lot of personal business I needed to take care of that just really kept me away from my computer. And, still a little bit crazy, my schedule, but I do try to get these live streams in. And I am active on my Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, I highly encourage you to do that because it's a lot easier to send a quick, tweet on X now, and then set up the live stream, which takes a little more time. All right, so here we are, guys. I'm going to always start with a market recap, allow people to join, and then listen to the market recap since we last met and spoke. So again, the market is at this point in a wave five situation on the multiple time frames with a lot of divergences playing out. So if we really look at this final wave, the SPY here, you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously this cycle's over, and we pulled back in 3, and we came back up, and now we're in this kind of area of indecision on the market. Does it want to, extend this fifth wave? It can easily do that still. So you perma bears out there, you got to be careful of this. This you have to respect this setup. Where we could even come back down to 572, 570, and do the same setup. So it's not like all clear yet. And in fact, if we did pull deeper down, then we would be looking at not this wave 5, but the larger wave 5 extending, where we're actually correcting the August cycle here. So if we do pull back any deeper, I would be looking for a correction of this August cycle. And then you would have to say, well, are we going to actually come down and like crash like this? Or are we going to actually do this like 3-wave move down, which is what I posted on Friday, something like this. And then the market has a massive decision here to make, where we all of a sudden then have this: either are we going to get a 1, 2, come out in 3, 4, 5, post-election euphoria, maybe it goes perfectly and you get this, and then it's like, oh shit, yeah, Trump's in charge and now it's payback and chaos, or Trump lost and it's like, oh my God, what's coming next? So, or is there election chaos coming and then it's just game over? So we don't know the future. We just know these charts. When I look at the SPY right now, it does look like this August cycle is over. So I do think you're at risk for a deeper pullback. The Dow Jones also looks at risk here, breaking this low right there, making it either 5 waves down or a 4, 5 here, with this as a 2 and we're in a 3 down, or we can get this 2 to finish up and down. But either way, the Dow Jones shows you that the market has potential for more downside, even if we get a relief rally on Monday, because of the Iran or Israel world that kind of didn't really go anywhere with that. That situation didn't really mushroom into anything bigger at this point. So you could see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like I said, or it could be something more bearish, an impulse, or I could even put the A here and then get a B, C, where you get a relief rally Monday, Tuesday, kind of short squeeze and then drop. But this lower low sets up for with divergence here, sets us up for let me get rid of this, sets us up for this diverge, sets us up for a rally and failure. So that also means the SPY could do the same. Here you have 3 waves down, 3 waves up. This was the short area. We played that. Now we don't know where the market will go with that. It could easily take another 3 legs up like this and then drop down to this 572 area, or we could just head there Monday, Tuesday. But once we're in this area, then I believe the market will have a big decision to either start to unravel rapidly, and I believe it will happen very quickly, or it will make another massive rally to the 600s and top out here. So I think it's a big situation that Unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball, so you just play the setups as they come. I personally don't want to long any indice. I rather short setups. Like we saw on Friday was a good short setup to take that, and it played out. Now we'll look for another, if it wants to pump again, you could get another entry to short it. But if it wants to drop down into this area, this is not an area that I would want to take a long in, but it's definitely not somewhere I would short either. But if you're short from this 584 area and we get down, I would just hold that and keep it open and see how this plays out. But if we start to rebound, I would close it and get your profit out of that, because it could turn into a bigger wave 5 here. So that's the market indice kind of look at things. Let's go to kind of the higher time frames and take a look at where things stand. So as you can see, the daily cycle does look like it's at risk of break-in right here. It's at risk of a break. That would be a warning sign. This August cycle could lead into something much more serious in terms of downturn, where this could peak. Let's look at the weekly cycle. Weekly cycle, you have, again, bearish divergences here. But you still have a lot more room to go on the weekly cycle. So I think the weekly cycle is still showing bullish, but it is a bearish divergence, and the monthly cycle's got a lot of bearish divergences here playing out. Again, the monthly cycle still looks okay, but it's it's very susceptible. At some point, it should break this trend line. But as you can see, there's a lot of room. So the monthly and weekly cycles still look like there's hope for the bulls for this final push higher in 5. But the daily cycle does show that perhaps we could break 565, which again could put the weekly cycle at risk. So we are close to the top, but we're not like ready to be like, I'm max short, I'm going to buy puts as much as puts as possible. Like that is not what I would recommend. I think you should have, you should be defensive in a lot of ways, the market, and play that how you want to play it, but then also aggressive on some stocks that are showing buys. There are individual stocks out there that are long opportunities, and perhaps that's a way to hedge your defensiveness, buying strategic long opportunities that present themselves. So if we do get, let's say, a short squeeze Monday because the Israel thing fizzled out, and we get this short squeeze and we do want to come back up to 586, 587, well, you have some longs to make some money on that, and then that's fine, and you could reshort that, here, and then you could try to play that drop again. But I do think the Dow is showing you that the market should either rally and fail, or it's just going to fail, and Monday could be a bloodbath. But I don't know why, given I don't see a big news event out there to justify a bloodbath on Monday. So I think you're set up for a short squeeze on Monday of some kind of late shorts that came in at the end of the day Friday, and I think you're going to see some kind of pattern like this play out. That's what I'm thinking. Monday, Tuesday, and then we should get that push down. The technology sector, very difficult from an Elliott wave standpoint to really say like for certainty where we are. I still have a 3-wave down here and a 3-wave up, and C is in 5. I could force that label in and then drop in 3 all the way back to 410. And again, this is 3, 3, 3. So this could be a big, either this is a double correction here, and 5 will extend later as this bottom is hit and we get this massive melt up, or you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the grand super cycle's over. So we don't know how this is going to play out. Now, if we do break this all-time high here, let's say we break this next week, we break this 5, then I would still be looking for a very deep pullback just like this, but then more than likely this wave 5 is going to extend, and then we are going to reset this cycle from October 22, but that will be supported for a push higher in technology. It's going to kind of change things up. So again, you perma bears out there have to respect that. Breaking this high is significant technically using my system. If we break it, I do believe still we're at risk for a big pullback just like this, big flush. when this 5 ends, but I believe this will be a massive buy-in opportunity for a melt-up scenario, that final blow-off top, the big melt-up that some people still think we have, and there's guys on CNBC that you can pay money to that will tell you like the market can't, a bull market can't end without a real big blow-off speculative top, and that's what they're saying, and then maybe that's what this would give us. But the first sign that that could happen is if this breaks. Now, if this doesn't break, then I think you are at risk for either the same scenario with a melt up, but you also are set up for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retrace and then crash. So as you can see, it's not a straight line down. So all you SQQ like people that have a love affair with SQQ, this is you're not going to just be able to buy and hold SQQ if this plays out. It'll be like a 3, a 4, and a 5, and then you'll get a relief rally here like this, and then you'll get your crash. So if you're at SQQ, you basically will make no money for the next year and a half. So that's what I'm saying. So this is a top-in process market. If it has peaked, it's going to be like the way to trade it, in my opinion, is to get your profit and take it and then reload and take it and reload. Like, it's not a trend-in market. It's a top-in distribution market at some like higher time frames, which means if you're using leverage, calls and puts and things like that, you're going to be frustrated because the market itself is not really trending. It's kind of sideways to lower is what I'm seeing over maybe the next 12 to 18 months as this top-in process plays out. I think it's unlikely you just get the straight down crash that bears hope for. I believe because of this 3-wave nature of this move here, not 5 waves, lends you to more of a leading diagonal coming out if this high isn't broken, and that's a lot of chop and then rally and then crash, and then maybe the bigger crash comes towards the end of the middle of next year. Maybe we'll play this back again in October 25, and we made it through October 24 okay, but October, maybe next October, will be where you get that big wave 3. Just kind of thinking about things right now. And again, if the SPY is topped, you'll have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. Like I said, the odds of it just going straight down is very unlikely. So just you got to play this smart. You got to be smart about this as you trade. And just because the chart is right doesn't mean you know how to trade right. So that's this market, guys, here. IWM is either has topped or could make one more high. And it's really a coin flip. I don't like to guess it, and I don't like to trade it. Then let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it will make it, I think, resolve its move higher. I still have it up right now with 5 up, 1, 2, 1 and a 2. It looks like we're in some kind of X-wave connector here, a mess. If it does want to drop back to 64.6, 64,000, maybe even 63,000. That could be maybe your last chance to get in, to get this wave 3 out of this massive consolidation. If it's going to happen, if we break below this low at 58.7, then it should be lights out and it should rapidly fall to 42,000. So we're coming close to a decision point in Bitcoin. This consolidation is either going to have a melt up or melt down, and we're very close to the end of the road. Well, you know, the market has kicked the can down the road, and perhaps it's waiting to the election to figure out where it wants to go. But I've just shown you another setup in Bitcoin here. If you see it, and of course, to negate this drop, we'd have to come back and take out 69.5. If we could do that, then we should come out into the 70s, and it should be wave 3 should be born. Now, but I still think it is at risk for this second push lower, especially if the rest of the indices look like it needs a little bit more downside. Okay, I won't go into gold and silver. I'm sure people will ask me about that later. Rates are going higher. All the fundamental and the analysts are shocked that this is happening. But if you follow me, we're not shocked. We called this low. Now we had the downtrend broke. We are confident now this low is set. So now we have 5 up off this low. So we should be looking for a relief rally in bonds. So we are looking for the TLT to rise again because we have 5 up. All right, now that we have 5 up, we'll be looking for a pullback, but that will be support, should be supported for more upside in rates, unless we can burn through divergence, which is always possible. And rates are turning. Here's our buy area and rates, our sell area and bonds, the inverse, and it's just the technicals are working out. The system is working out. Hit it to the penny. The 1 year starting to reverse. The 7 year also hit it, boom, massive reversal. People are dumbfounded. They're confused. They don't understand why. They don't know the narrative. The market is searching for a narrative to justify this. And right now, it seems like the narrative is starting to coalesce around government debt is out of control. I'm starting to get more and more of that. So could we see a government debt crisis in the United States? You got taxes being eliminated by Trump is proposing if he wins, tariffs and things like that. So perhaps we're maybe what's going to drive these rates higher won't be the Fed. It will be a government debt crisis, the sovereign debt crisis. You have the BRICS nation making some strategic agreements that aren't getting a lot of airplay in the Western media. That is actually really fundamentally damaging to the dollar in our bond market. Just don't tell anyone that, but it's true. Read what's happening. Don't be oblivious to that news. And that may be what's playing out here. The smart money is getting out while the getting's good. And we've never seen in the United States a bond market crash, right? We've never seen it in the history of the United States. Maybe back at the Civil War time frame, I think perhaps the bonds crashed there because they thought the nation was going to fall apart. But I believe that we've seen the stock market crash, right? 29, right? People jumping off of the windows and the stocks crashed. They lost all their money. The banks failed. But we've never seen the bond market crash. And you have to think about it. Most investors are all in bonds, right? Like even Warren Buffett and Apple, they all have these treasuries. And I think they all think it's like risk-free. I don't think it's as risk-free as people imagine. And perhaps there could be a bond market panic and crash developing, and that may create the indice crash that people are looking for. It may not be any news about China or Israel and Iran or Trump and Harris. It may be just sovereign debt crisis. It may be a Greece Argentina type crisis, and then we have to deal with that. But whatever is happening, the bond market is telling you the warning. This is a massive warning sign. But it doesn't go in a straight line. It's not just going to go straight up. It's going to pull back. So I think we're still a pullback, but that should be supported for more upside in rates. And then I think the real craziness is going to start when we start getting close to these highs again. People are going to really start to freak out. I mean, people are going to really freak out, man. I'm going to tell you, when we get back up to 5%, because I think that's what's going to happen. And then all the smart people, all the smart technicians that you guys follow that pay on CNBC and all, they'll all be like, oh yeah, of course rates are going to 7, 8, but always remember Elliott Way Sage called the rate turn exactly with my few thousand followers, and you guys were in the know, and you guys hopefully are protecting your positions accordingly, because this has massive implications if this plays out, and it is playing out. So just be careful. So I really want to emphasize, you got to watch the bond market right now. And then the VIX has also been an important indicator for us to keep an eye on. So let's take a look at the VIX here. I put it back up as I'm watching it in my daily update. So the VIX here, we've got a higher high here. We broke this high, right? So this is also telling you the VIX is going to go higher. So this is also telling us probably more downside in stocks. Now, the VIX could also be this kind of crazy like lead-in diagonal 5 waves here, and then pull back down. Again, short squeeze Monday, drop the VIX, and then out. But whatever this is bullish. It's bullish. And then UVIX also is trying to break out, and it also broke this high. And this was a massive buy on Friday. A great easy day trade buy here with a nice 3-wave pullback. Like this was just free money, and it went vertical. So this is actually playing out technically beautifully on the bullish side. So that's actually a massive warning sign for the market. Now, again, this could also still be an ABC, and we can come back and revisit this area on Monday. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, this is showing there's bullish tendencies brewing in the VIX market, the VIX and UVIX. But we have to be careful too that ultimately you have three waves here. But once we get to this area, this third wave is finished in this area, the market will either have a massive rally, which is that blow off top scenario, or we'll break through 32 VIX and then we'll actually come back and take this peak out at 56, and the markets will essentially be in a, that'll be it. So we don't know when the VIX is traded in this area, we don't know exactly the nature of the move and where we will go with it. But for now, we'll just kind of play it by ear. But if the VIX can find resistance in this area, you have to respect that the market could make that extension in wave 5 on the grand super cycle, and you have to respect that. You have to respect that. If you don't respect that, then if you're short, you could lose a lot of money, and you may miss an opportunity to make some easy money on a blow off top. So we still got to be careful with that scenario. But the way to negate the blow off top would be the VIX would just blow through this box. So just blow through it. Just blow through it. No big deal. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Let's go to your questions. Questions now, and I'll try to stay on as long as I can, and we'll go from there. And again, that's $5 a symbol. I'll look into you guys symbols for you, and yeah, I don't have time to read everything, but I'll do my best. I'll just kind of answer everybody's question. I'll start with Thomas on NOK here. Let's go to requested stocks. And like I said, it's been like a while since we've done anything here, so we'll have to just we'll just have to see how the charts are doing these days. Okay, so we're looking for a wave 2 reversal at some point on this. So there's your connector wave, but let's take a look at the RSI sequence on the higher time frame. So we are pretty extended, a lot of hidden bearish divergence here between these two peaks. And looking at this, yeah, this is your connector wave here. So it looks like to me you've got 3, 3, and then 3, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so this should be ending at any moment. Should be coming to conclusion soon. Looks like an overthrow of some kind of wedge, you know, a bear flag overthrow, or maybe right on the edge of the flag. There you go. So it looks like you got this bear, like if you're a chart pattern trader, you could call this like a bear flag here with a little bit of an overthrow, which is always kind of the last part of a move. So I think this is close to ending and reversing. Unfortunately, much more dark times are ahead for this stock. I don't have this bottoming anytime soon. But this should be over. This move is close to ending. All right, Space Silver, FNOX. Let's take a look here. FNOX. We had the buy here, worked out. We pulled back in 3, and now we broke this high. So this is about to see a wave 3 moment if this chart is correct. So I would be ready for a lot more upside. I mean, and we broke the high. So this looks good. That looks good. So this is according to plan. Again, strategic longs, right? I don't know what the hell this company does. I don't know why it would go up, but it's going up. So if I want to hedge my short position, you buy something like this, right? A chart like this. All right. Next is NIBE, NIBEB. All right. Let's take a look. That is also in a buy, and it looks like it's reversing out. And it looks like, again, you broke the high there. And again, this one looks like it's waiting for wave 3 to come out too. And this is also looks like an inverse head and shoulders about to play out. A reversal pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's the look I've got. That's the look. And and there it is. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? Doesn't get any better than that. What does these companies do? Are they related to ag or something? So because I see a lot of industries are let's see here. Climate solutions. So it's like industrial, it looks like. Some kind of industrial shit or something. I mean, again, I don't know why, but obviously you could see it's been in a bear market since 2021. So it's been depressed. Like it's almost like trading with like the commodities that have been pushed down, like agriculture, like fertilizer, potash, all that shit is ready to go back to wave 3. Even natural gas at some point will hit wave 3. So there is this inflationary like push coming, and maybe this is part of that. It will join the ride in that cycle for some reason. All right, thanks again. Okay, let's go to GDX and SIL, Thomas. So again, the big way to forecast those is to look at the actual metal, I believe, is important. Newmont got crucified on Friday. I saw there was one of those miners got like stock collapsed. And I do know fundamentally with the miners, the fundamental investor hates higher cost, even if the precious metal price goes up. And so if inflation is coming back, the miners may actually not be a good way to play it. You may want to just buy the metal. And that's just something, if you're fundamentally wired, that's something you need to think about. But let's go to gold and silver here. Gold and silver. So gold extended, it erased divergence, which I warned it can always do. It could always do. And so gold is extending this fifth wave of a fifth wave. So it's extension. So gold should see more upside, right? So you would think the GDX would see more upside. Now silver, not different picture here. Silver hit our buy area, which we've had since pretty much the whole calendar year. We finally hit 35 almost exactly, and now it's struggling. So now either silver will extend in 5 with gold and go to 40 or higher, or it won't, or it's done, and it's in a massive collapse. So I don't understand, why one would go the other. Maybe gold will do better than silver. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just showing the chart. So what I'm saying is both metals are kind of at the end of the line based on these charts, which also means the GDX and SIL are due for a big pullback, and maybe that's what we saw in the miners already start the other day, right? We saw, let me go to the commodities. I believe it was Newmont. I want to say it was Newmont, but one of these guys got obliterated on Friday. One of these big guys. Maybe it wasn't Newmont. Oh yeah, there it is. Boom. Yeah, Newmont. It was like Thursday maybe. Okay, that tells me the cycle's over. You're in the bear market cycle, right? The 3-wave pullback. The 3-wave pullback has probably started, and this is one of the biggest miners. So if this miner has started its pullback, chances are the others are too. And so you need 3 waves. So the GDX is probably starting its pullback too. So we've got to look at that and kind of understand where we are with it. So let's take a look at divergences. So see, all this is here is below that peak. All this is wave 5. So this is an extended 5th wave that looks like it's peaked, just by an RSI standpoint. That's what this represents to me. And then looking at this closer, let's see if we can kind of map out where we are with it. 3, 3, 3, 3. Or maybe we could go 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. So A, B, C. So maybe it's peaked here, and we're going to do a flat and come back to 32. So I think with GDX, something like this right now, and then you get something like this. That's what I go with for now. But yeah, I think I'd go with this count for now. Let me see. Yeah, divergence between here and here. It is a wave 5. That's still a wave 5. So how we label it, so that's one way of labeling it, right? That's my primary view, given what Newmont just did. The other view is more just a classic Elliott wave, like where this is a 1-2, right? And then this is a 1-2, right? And it's just doing something like this, but this doesn't seem like realistic, right? Right? And that means it'll go higher. I don't think so. So I don't really see another alternative. I don't see another alternative. So I'm just going to show you what I think it is. But there's no setup to buy it. There's no setup to sell it. It's just kind of like, let this play out more. I would let this play out more. The daily cycle, push down. The weekly cycle hasn't corrected. Yeah, good luck. I think it's a little dangerous to be chasing the miners. I think Newmont is a warning sign that the miners is not all well in this. But how's it going to run without Newmont, right? That's not going to do it. All right, SIL probably is the same kind of look here. Let's take a look at what we've got going on. So let's see here. So SIL 5 up. We put the 2 there. This looks like 5 up, right? With divergence erased. Now it's still below this peak. So I'm gonna be more conservative in the view with this. I'm gonna put the 3 here and match it up, right? Match it up with the rest of the market. Let's go to the shorter time frames and see. You see there's no divergence really here on that 5. But you see it here. It's possible that this could still push a little bit higher. But I still would go at discount. But again, there's no real setup. There's no real setup. If you can get a really good pullback, then it's a great chance to get back in on this trade if this can materialize. But like both these, I mean, theoretically could extend. I don't see it extending. Again, if you're not long these, you just have to feel bad for yourself, because look, we had buys here, 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 and a buy here. So if you're not long it by now, then you have no one but yourself to blame for not buying. I mean, I wouldn't buy it here, but there will always be another pullback, right? There's always another pullback. So wait for the next pullback. I mean, the 4 hours way overbought. The daily's overbought. The weekly, you have bearish divergence. It's got a pullback coming. It's got a pullback. It's coming. This is coming. I don't know when though, but it's about to happen. It could already be here, but soon, and then you get another chance to get in on this trade somewhere around here, somewhere around there, and then you get the big buy, the big push higher. All right. Thanks again for the super chat, man. Anonymous, let's go to your questions. Thanks for the big super chat. I'll go through all your stuff, of course, like I normally do. All right. Indo. So Indo really pumped after hours, I heard. I wasn't at my computer. I do other things, and then I saw my Twitter. Someone's like, "Oh, the bombs were flying." I was like, "Ah, shit." So I missed them, the after-hour pump, But I mean, no one knows how this play out, right? No one knows the fundamentals. But what I'll do is go into it and show you kind of the chart. I'll do the after-hours chart, and then you guys can see where we are with it. But everything is still going according to plan. So here we have this 1-2. This could easily been another 1-2 here, guys. Okay, I could make this a 1-2, and I had it as a 1-2, right? And then we broke this high, right? We broke this high, so this became 5 up. But what I was looking at after hours is, if I look at the after hours price action, I got a different way of labeling it. I'm going to label it 3, 4, and 5 like this, a full impulse, and then a pullback. And you have, at least when I looked at the daily, yeah, we had this bearish divergence here. So to me then, this is a conservative view. And if the Israel-Iran thing fizzles out, it fizzles out, oh shit, it's nothing burger. Why this doesn't seem like it will have a reason to really go higher. So I think it will pull back from here and revisit this area down here, 350. And then that also helps like make sense for the oil trade for me, because oil ultimately, right? I want oil down at 56, 54 in a major low. This was premature. And so if this thing maybe was predicting the Iran and Israel thing would fizzle out. So now we need it to take out 78 to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to negate this bearish setup, put the bottom there. If that's the case, Indo, I would be more aggressive. But I think with Indo, the way to play it is this is now, maybe you'll see a sell-off in the oil market, and maybe we'll see it, soon. The sell-off in the oil market, the war's over, everyone, hug and made up, and it was just a nothing burger, no big deal. We can't have the indices crash, whatever agreements have been made behind, whatever. Then the recession fears come in and oil tanks, and then something happens with the election, with Trump, with money printing, God knows what, inflation, war, Taiwan, who knows, moon. Then Indo moons. And that will allow Indo to pull back, and this will allow Indo to moon. This chart, if it could just come out of this, and Indo's just going to moon from here, and then you're back to the more 1, 2, 1, 2 aggressive count. This will pull back, and then you'll just keep going. So I'm just showing you a conservative view based on the after hours price action, but we'll see what it trades on Monday with Indo. But I think Indo is kind of going to be faded here. And I'll be surprised on Monday if you're going to be able to get this price in the morning. I don't think you will. I think it's going to fade into this area just like this. This is what I'm thinking. But obviously it's bullish, right? It's in a new bull cycle higher, right? It's going to, and then it'll come out later. As I say, nothing ever moves in a straight line. I know people want it to. They're desperate for it to, but it just doesn't do that. So I think this is what we're going to see looking at the after hours price data. All right, so the good point for re-entry is if we do see this fade, or we open like this is, we're opening at $5 or $4, wherever, and this is all faded, then re-entry is right around the low $3 area. The wave 4 low right here, where wave 4 found support, this area, this general area. Maybe this trend line back test even. That's what I'd be looking for. Or a nice 3-wave drop. And then, of course, your stop out area is this low right here. This low right at 237. So it's a lot of risk. So if you're buying it here, you got a lot of risk. A lot of risk. But again, we had buys here, and then there was one here, but we didn't quite make it. Didn't quite make it to where we wanted, but got close. And then so the technicals, again, are working out beautifully on this. It's just you have to be patient. A lot of people just aren't patient, right? They're impatient. Right? So I get it. We want things to go straight up, but they never do typically. And I think that after hours price action was awesome, but it just was like, damn it. That's probably why they did that strike after hours. So would it be the least impactful to the markets? It's crazy how wars are fought in bull markets. And with the bull market mentality, people like tell them like where the strikes are coming, when they're going to strike. They're very polite with war. They're very diplomatic, and they're apologetic, and God, and may God help us. We don't fire missiles between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Monday through Friday. God help us. No missiles are allowed to fly. This is the most that's war in the bull market. That's the mentality of the I guess everybody, because they're so fixated on markets. But one day, war won't care. They aren't going to give a shit about the indices. And you kind of see that with Russia and Ukraine. Russia didn't give a shit about its market. It just went in and did what it did. And that's what's going to eventually happen across the world. And then the U.S. is going to like fucking freak out, because they're going to be like, oh my God, our stock market, guys, don't fire missiles, please, between 3 and 4. We got the circuit breakers are off at 3:40 to 4. Please, God, don't. Like, they're not going to care. And that's when the United States is going to realize we're in a whole new, they're going to have to understand it. God can't fight war worrying about the stock market. But that's right now. But we're in the top of a bull market, of a grand super cycle. So the mentality is, we fight war around the stock market. The wars is where we worry about the markets. And the actual battle and what happens is second nature. Is the market. So that's what I mean. Think about it. That's what they did. I mean, they fired the missiles essentially when the market, as soon as the market closed. You think that was a coincidence? No way. Okay. Bitcoin. Will we see? We don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know. I think we could see 64.7. Will we see if we see 58 and this breaks, then we're going to go a lot lower. I hate to break it to you. You really need to stay above this pivot here. Now, we could go lower here. We could go down this. This is possible. But technically, it may not even break 65 too. This doesn't have to happen. This doesn't have to happen. And if we take out 68.9, it's not going to happen. It's gone. And you guys missed it. You missed it. It's just, and I feel bad because but I'm just saying you miss. This is why it's so tough to trade. So you just got to wait for your pitch. And so if you get a drop here, great. But I don't know. We don't know for sure how it's going to trade. But there are stocks out there that show incomplete sequences lower to me, like MicroStrategy, that show that perhaps you don't want to bet your farm on Bitcoin just yet. So there are some individual stocks in crypto that aren't so perfect, right? They're not perfect. That warn me. But then there's other signs that don't, like that are like, hey, we're good. So I think you're just gonna have to do what's best for you. I mean, personally, I still think it's gonna go higher. Personally, I don't think you're gonna. That's why we've been labeling it as this 1 2 1 2 1 2, because I just don't think it's gonna go higher, like lower. I'm sorry, lower. I don't think it's gonna go lower. But I'm not like shorting this and like telling you. I just like, hey, if the market wants to be stupid and drop it to 45, I will be ready to buy it. I will provide liquidity for anyone long that's scared, don't worry. I mean, if you're worried about closing your positions, I'll be there to buy it from you. I'm waiting, but I'll wait, but I may not get that. And that's cool. But I play what I get, right? If it wants to make this move down here, I'll be there. I'll be there ready to pull the trigger. And that's how you should be. You shouldn't be worrying about that. Now, I'm not going to short that, because God knows this probably won't happen. I wouldn't short. I'm not predicting that. I'm still predicting the market wants to go higher. So this is the count for now until proven otherwise. And the first sign that would break would be the break up below this low right there, this 58,000 area, 58.9. You break 58.9, then the bulls have a lot of problems, a lot of trouble ahead, I think. Then I think things change. But for now, no reason to worry. All right, let's look at MIGI for you. Here, let's take a look at MIGI. Let's take off this after extended hours trading. All right, so yeah, so it's kind of a messy chart, but again, the Elliott waves are playing out. We'll put the 3 there, that 4 here, that 5 there. We'll put that whoops, let's go back. We'll put this 4 here, that 5 there. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Now, you look at that, that only looks like 3 waves. No divergence at the peak, no divergence here. So let's take a look at this wave 4. Could we still be in wave 4? Yeah, so we gotta be careful that we're still not in a wave 4. Like this. Something like that. Get that and then draw. So we don't know. Now this could also be 5, and we could also see something like this play out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend it. So we just don't know. But we're still in this cycle. I can't say this cycle's peaked. So I don't know. But it's playing out just like we thought. Look, we had to buy. We were so close to the actual low, and you were very patient, right? We were telling. I was saying, hey, wait, you know, and then now there was your entry. So we were very patient. We got the entry we wanted. We got the pullback, and now it's coming out. And yeah, I mean, the 5 can extend. I think we're still in wave 5 extension. So I would just not get shaken out or try to get cute trading in and out of the position. I would just be holding this. I would just be holding this. I would hold this. That's how I would trade this. Hold it. Hold. Hold. All right, good luck. And I think the buy more on a pullback, always buy around the wave 4 cluster right here. The wave 4 cluster is always the area you want to buy more. If you want to buy more, or look for 3 waves, 3 waves decline, and 3 wave decline. We don't have a 3rd wave yet. We don't have a connector. So you can't, the safest is to buy the 3rd wave, the connector wave. You get a like that. Then you can project this target and buy it much more confidently. Without that, if it's a crash correction, then you just got to stick your neck out around the wave 4 cluster. But it's much more risky doing that. But good luck. All right, anonymous. Yeah, see, there's no divergence, so that tells me it's not the move's not finished. Now there's divergence here, right? So it's wave 5, but it tells me you're still in wave 5. Or if it were to go lower, then you're still in wave 4 in a flat. That's how I can. That's the reason. All right, on BCHG, let's take a look. We did had this buy. Look, guys, I gave this on my last live stream to somebody. Maybe it was you, anonymous. Look, to the penny. Guys, we called it to the penny. You could have put your order in exact. I mean, my system usually plays out, and look, boom. Now here we are with the 5th wave. Again, you only see 3 up, but this could be. So this could be a lot of things. This could be a lot of things here. Let's take a look, like you were saying, divergences, and see. Wow, that cycle may have reset. I could put the 5 there. Yeah, I think it's like this. I think this one's really bullish. And we know Bitcoin Cash is bullish, right? That's it. But look at the cycle. Look at that reset. Look at that reset. Let's look at the higher time frame though first. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's too bullish there. Why don't we, again, looking at the RSI sequence, I think it's still like the other one. It's still in a wave 5. It's still in a wave 5 at the 4-hour cycle. The 45-minute cycle, so I wouldn't be surprised to see wave 5 extend because the 45-minute sold off. And remember, if it extends significantly, it'll race divergence, and this will become a 1-2 as well. So this is a wave 5 extension. I believe it will continue higher as the divergence, it gets more divergence, especially here, and then eventually finish. So I think it's still in wave 5. I wouldn't, again, want to get too cute trading in and out of it, but I would just hold, right? The way to trade it was you bought it here at 5, and now you just hold it. There's no reason to sell it. Let the day traders lose all their money. You just sit back and get paid. Go focus on other stocks. There's no reason to be trading in and out of this if you got your positions down here where I had entries here, right? So anyway, that's BCHG, LTCN. Let's take a look. So we had this 1-2, bigger 1-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we put the 1 here. That looks like 5 up though on that wave. But also looks like 5 down. Let's look at the divergences. So there's no divergence. So this was a flat correction. It's more likely that 2's in. So this one looks like it's got some kind of breakout coming. That's what it looks like to me. So it's got a different looking chart, right, than the other ones. Something like that. Okay. All right, next super chat, Ryan Hex. Let's take a look at that one. All right, so last update we predicted this B, right? And then we got this C wave. And now we're looking for this C wave to end, this impulse. So you just kind of got to watch the impulse down and just kind of see if we can make sense of it. But then we'll also look at divergences and see. Looks like it has one more high and then another low, and then that should be it. Something like that. The other way to look at it is, or you can break this trend line here. If you break that line, then it's over. Let's look at the divergences. You see that's the 3, there's your 5. The cycle looks like it wants to reverse on the 4-hour. And the daily cycle looks like it's ready to go. So I'm probably off by a swing. So I think it is close to making a bottom. Like I could maybe even put that, like, so there's a lot of ways you could play around. Like I could do that, right? And then call. So I think it's very close to finishing the cycle. So I think this cycle's over at any moment. In fact, it could be over easily here. We just don't know. It definitely went deep enough. There's your wave 4 cluster. I mean, personally, if I was looking to get long, I'm not going to be picky about I'm just going to because you're buying it here when it's trading at, 9, 1, trading 5, 3 or 4, you're not going to care where you bought it, honestly. Like, it's pretty good entry here. I mean, you did pretty well to avoid this loss, right? So now, it could always bounce and fail, right? So you can't get overconfident with the trade, right? You could always do this and fail. So you have to understand you may want to take some profit, and then or you can wait and then you can stop out, and then you have nothing to show for it, but at least your loss is very minimal. But anyway, you have to do what's best for you. All right, ACHR. Let's go to ACHR. All right, so let's take a look at where we are with that. So we did get a bounce. So we're looking for this wave 2 to end. We wanted the end here, but you see how it bounced, but the bounce failed. So all you did was make a connector wave. And because of that, it took another leg lower, which is always possible. So now you see how you had a WXY with a connector. Now you need another WXY. So it's got more downside, one more leg lower probably. I wouldn't want to buy it because of this chart, but it's taking a fresh leg lower in another three leg decline. So it just double corrected, and those things happen in the market. So let's look for an area to buy it. 237 would be your next area in this area here. Let's look at divergences. You see all that bullish divergence there? You haven't got capitulation. So yeah, I'd be looking for more downside. And of course, you have to hold this low. So I'm looking for more downside here on this symbol. Yep, that's the count. Good luck on that. Next, Donald, Nvidia and Tesla. So, yeah, I'm glad someone asked me about Tesla because I wanted to go through Tesla a little bit. Nvidia is pushing up to our final target at 153. That is our final target for a major top, but not actually. Look, it's only wave 3, not the top. Can you believe that? Isn't that something? We don't have divergence here, so that's interesting. But let's look at the shorter time frame. That's probably more important here. There's your wave 3, 4. Yeah, now you're in your 5. So you're in your 5th wave, obviously, but it looks like you're still in wave 5. You're still in some wave 5, I think. Until it's the market proves otherwise, I would just label it like this. Until the market changes its mind. But it is getting close, right, to topping. But you broke the high. You have 5 swings. So I would be watching this trend line. This trend line here. You break that trend line, essentially, then I believe the peak is in. So you're really, it's like this last little bit is really picking up pennies in front of the steamroller. I mean, guys, the steamroller is coming for Nvidia. It's just, yes, could there be a few more pennies to get? Absolutely. But I mean, damn. I mean, you're really pushing, you're like, it's like going to the casino and you keep winning hand after hand, and you're up like 10 hands in a row, but at some point, you're going to just lose it all. Like that's what Nvidia is for investors that are still long. Like they're just like, it's just at some point the house always wins. The house is coming. I mean, this is going to top out, but it could easily still extend. So I can't really say like there's no real good setup, but it's obviously, like all good things coming to an end. So this is moving in 3. So yeah, I bet it goes higher. I bet it goes higher a little bit more, but not much more. All right, Tesla. So Tesla was one that that event everyone was like so euphoric and bullish in, and then they were so disappointed. It sold off, and then they reported earnings, and then it like moans, right? Because they made a profit on the Cybertruck, and everyone's like freaking out. But what happened is there's just too many people short it. Now technically, you saw, look, it back tested that trend line, the downtrend line. I think it's pretty safe to say it wants to go to 300 now. So, but I would still not be like, right, like, is this too done over here, right? It can be, because this could still be a big lead in diagonal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a big pullback. Like that can happen, but we aren't moving in an impulse. Okay, it's very clear this is not impulsive. So you have to just trade it in 3 swing increments. So you have 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then you pulled back here. And now we need to look at this wave and make sure we have this labeled right. So I had 3 here, the short here played out. And this was actually a box for long opportunities. But I'm not playing the long side of the market because I'm being much more careful. But this was technically a long opportunity for those wanted to take it, and they got it. That was a good reward. Now, looking at this, that does look like 3, but you see how you broke that low right there. What's interesting, you see it came back, erased divergence. So this was in 3 actually. It was like a final little shakeout on this little drop right there. So it's very interesting. So we are moving in 3. So I would expect another 3 legs higher, right? So I would expect another 3 legs higher. So the next area that I think that it could see is this 340. So Tesla would be something you would want to buy on dips right now. Yeah, I think this area, the 340 area, is in play. Now we'll go straight up there. I mean, it's always possible, but it's not likely. So if you look at the nature of this wave, you see how it kind of went straight up and pulled back and then out. So we'll get a pullback some point, right? Get a pullback, but that pullback's buyable. So whenever this X comes, I don't know, and I don't know when, you like to buy that. We'll like to buy that, right? Now, what if it just does that? It can. I guess it can do that, right? But we just can't predict the future if it will do that. It's not likely, but it does seem to me that I would be looking, now that we know the market's intentions, right? The market's intentions, we have the higher high. We know this is a good setup. So the way to trade this is wait for a pullback, get that pullback, go long, and then play this. And then when you get to this area, dump it, and then just kind of see what happens. That's how I look at it. So this is very tradable on a pullback, but I would not chase it because there is, I believe, an X wave that needs to form. And then if you chase it, you'll get caught up in this. And then, so you really want to wait, and hopefully this comes to comes to fruition soon, and then you can play this Y wave. And if you were trading it with me, we got this Y wave, right? We caught this move on my channel, right? We caught this whole move, and we made a lot of money on this. And then we kind of stepped to the sidelines on it because the structure wasn't very clear at that point. But I do want to catch this Y wave onto 320. The chances of it going straight vertical are low, but you can't rule it out. And that's something you're just going to have to decide for yourself how you want to do it. But no, if you do chase it here, you're going to get a pullback. You're just going to have to hold through that pain and watch your money go down. But eventually you should come be supported and out. So just understand that's how the market's going to work. All right. Thanks again for the super chat. Travis, let's go to XRP real quick. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP here. Let's take a look at XRP. That's another one. I heard there's like another round of legal action they're trying to bring on it or something. Like I heard some FUD again. Let's take a look. So I'm kind of trying to caution you about this pullback in this X wave now to retest this area at 43 cents, right? We did make that lower low, so I still think that's in play. I think that's in play. So I still would be looking for this now that we have this pivot, so we can draw a trend line, and we could really we want to understand like we're in this cycle lower as long as we're below this. You see this trend line here. Now if we break this downtrend line, then this is something completely different. And the problem we're dealing with trying to chart this as an Elliott wave standpoint is you're in essentially a connector of a connector of a connector, which is probably the most choppy, sideways, untradeable like market that exists. It's almost impossible to label these sideways markets, but that's what we're in. So we're in kind of a day trader's paradise. So it's essentially you buy here and sell here, but at some point we will break out of this just trade-in range. So I believe we're going to come back and test the bottom of this this trade-in range where these wicks here, 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 here. You know, we're going to come back. I think we're coming back to this demand zone, and then hopefully the next trip back up to the supply area will break through it. So that's what I think is going to play out. And that's just the chart I'm seeing right now in this instrument. But until it all happens, we just have to kind of understand it's in this consolidation. Now, if Bitcoin can get its act together, that should support everything. So hopefully this will play out sooner than later. All right, Tim. The use, the use has been could have been a really good buy on Friday. I was watching that pullback on the use for traders, traders, because it's a nice day trader stock because you can buy a lot of it, right? It's cheap, and it's shown some volatility, so it's a great trading stock at the moment. Uranium is, but I don't. At some point, you don't want to trade it. You want to hold it because especially if you're going to get a breakout. But it is on Friday, it did hit a buy area. So Friday did hit a buy area on a 3-wave pullback in wave 2. Now, so this wave 2 could be in. So we are correcting this whole cycle on the use. Nice, beautiful impulse, Elliott wave impulse. I mean, beautiful impulse. We also had the buy here, right? And now we have a buy here. Now, I look at it, typically, if you're correcting this whole cycle, it would be nice to see something like this, right? And then you take out this whole wave 5 and you come back to the wave 4 cluster at 520. So I do show this as a buy, but I think the reason I didn't buy it, again, using my system, because I'm much more cautious and conservative, is I'd rather wait for this setup, for the day trade setup, if I can get this. Now, if I get this and miss it, I miss it, right? As a day trader. Now, long-term hold, no big deal. You're holding your long and you just hold that position here. You shouldn't sell it if you bought it here. But if you haven't bought it yet and you buy it here, just know that, it's probably going to bounce. But don't be surprised if that bounce fails. And then if that were to happen, then I'm coming back in here. This, I would rather this setup. I think it could be a little too early here. Because if you look at that 4-hour cycle, it's just breaking, right? The 4-hour cycle. It'd be nice to have the 4-hour cycle reset, and I believe it will. So I think with the U's, you're due a bounce, but I think that bounce will fail. I think that bounce is going to fail, and then that could represent a great opportunity to get back in on this for investors or even day traders to make some easy money, like we did here. So here we are. This is probably where we're going with it. And yeah, if you're very want to take some risk, you could try to day trade the X wave, or if you get really lucky, it formed the 2, and you nailed it, right? So you just don't know. But remember, the Dow, and this is kind of an industrial stock Dow, like kind of sector. The Dow is showing 5 waves down or some like a bounce and a failure. So I think the Dow is showing like this type of sequence coming. So I think this is probably the right way to think about the UUUU symbol. Anyway, let's keep going. I got a lot of super chats to get through. So Tim, thank you again. Jose, EL and DG. Let me look at those. Estee Lauder. Again, in a buy area. And we're coming up on the downtrend line, but it's finding resistance. So we could still be in the C wave, but it's it can come to an end at any moment. It looks like it could use one more low, right? If I'm just labeling it. So we'll have to keep, but if we could break through that, this like kind of like trend line here, then the low's in. But this area, you want to start to pull the trigger on buying it. And then Dollar General, how's that looking? It's also in the buy area, and we're waiting for that 5th wave. So there you go. But we should make another low. We're looking for the low 70s. But I mean, my God, I mean, you can't. I mean, it's great to get this perfect entry, but I mean, at some point, you have to pull the trigger, right? You got to take the risk. I mean, how much longer are you going to wait? But there it is. There's the setup, Dollar General. All right, thanks again. U.S. Mustafa, let's go to your super chat. I don't have any plans to teach you an Elliott wave. I just don't have the time to dedicate because I still have like a 9-to-5 job that I deal with. But one day maybe I can do that. But let's look at the yen should be strengthening. The yen is set up to strengthen, I think, at any moment, right? Based on what I was looking at last time. Let me see if I can find my symbol here, if I can find it. Maybe it's with my dollar index symbol. Damn. So I think my symbols got messed up as it got resorted. There it is. Okay. Yeah. There it is. This is due a drop. So the USD JPY short to 130. Yeah, this is coming to an end at any moment, I think. Any moment. Connector, let's look at this a little bit closer. Yeah, it's in the area. It even came out of it a little bit. It's way extended. Those carry trade people, they're playing with fire again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, A, B, C. It's over. I mean, the sequences are over for the 3-wave sequence, right? This is corrective, so it's not impulsive. So there's your connector: A, B, C, WXY, WXY, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, any moment. Yen strength should be entering the market at any moment. And yeah, it would be a short down to if it tops here. If it tops here, right? We don't know where it's going to top. To actually 130. It would be to 130. 130. 130 at least, or maybe more. All right. Another big super chat. Thanks again, ServiceNow. Yeah, let's go to some of these tech stocks, how they're doing, the software stocks. ServiceNow was one of the strongest, which I've given on my channel before. We had to buy here, guys, by the way. Had to buy here. Now we're in this wave 3 that should be coming to an end. So this wave 3 is about to be coming to an end. There's your divergence. There's your 3 of 3. So pretty soon. So we have a pullback, but I also, as I label this, right? 1, 2, 3. It's only 3 up. So that's why I put that there. So and you see 2, 2. This could be our 3 could have already ended. It could be a flat. So I am thinking it could be something like this too, where you get this like ABC, something like that. The other possibility is 4 is already in, and then this is 5, and then we're going to extend a little more and then have another big drop. So I think it's in some kind of top end profit taking area. You see the bearish divergence is playing out. You see this 4-hour cycle is way extended. It's gonna come down, so you got a big sell-off coming. All right, Adobe has been kind of weak as well. Another software kind of stock, but not as weak. The buy on Adobe is at 475. It's almost there, which is essentially the gap fill. So and I have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and an A, B, C. Let's take a look one more time at this pattern. Let's just take a look at the bigger picture. Yes, so yeah, A, B, C, bearish divergence. Let's go. You see how the highs of the wicks don't really work out? Like it should be like 1, 2. So we may not have all the price data with TradingView, or we may not have the after hours data. So I have to, I have to be real too. I can't be such a, so orthodox around Elliott waves. I have to understand like there are error in data, like, but if you look at it, looks like a 1, 2, right? And then this is some kind of 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bounce and failure. So it's very close. If I did put the B there, then it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it ends. And 3 can't be the shortest, so that means it would have to end like right now. So, but either way, as you can see, it's you're getting another chance to get in on it. I think this low will hold at 433, and then this is the massive trend line, historical trend. So I think this is a big area of support right here with a gap fill. All right, Microsoft. Yeah, I've heard that's been pretty weak. Microsoft's been really weak. We had this B wave, and now we're pushing. We want to see it push down to 360. So Microsoft is showing a warning sign that it could have a big push lower coming. This could also be a warning to technology, and this would complete the Head and Shoulders top. So this is a very important chart to keep an eye on, because this could pull the whole tech sector down. So just be careful trading it. As long as you're below 443, this chart is valid. If we break 443, then the B wave will extend, but I still think C will come, but it will just play out differently. Uber Technologies. Let's take a look. It's been a while. We had the buy here. Looks like we caught that to the penny at 54. So somebody asked me about this and got probably the best entry of a lifetime, and now we're in wave 3. So yeah, so wave 3 is born, and it should just keep going higher. I mean, yeah, and that's what it's doing. It's the shorts are getting blown up. You have to, you got to know everybody uses Uber now, right? I mean, It's not going away. Now this last part, it could be 3, 4, 5. It could be that. It could be another 1, 2. It could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. So I don't know. I won't label it, but as you can see, it's in a bull market. It's in a new big bull cycle. There's your new historical trend line that's been born. And as long as you're above that, the bull market continues for years to come. So I think it's just one of these where you want to buy the pullback. So let's see if there's a pullback, because it is pulling back right here. Let's see if we can have a entry for some long positions potentially. And it looks like there is an opportunity emerging in Uber for traders. Right here, you see a nice little connector wave right there. If it wants to go to 73, 71, that could allow you to get in. If it does do that, then I would be looking for a different count than I have here. It would be something different, and we'd look for some kind of lead-in diagonal coming out of this low, where this is some kind of, let's see here, like A, B, C, 1, 2, A, B, C. So I would do something like this, 3, 4, if it did that. I'll do something like that. And then something like that. Something like that. And then it comes out in 5, and then it pulls all the way back down again, and then it comes out again. Okay, Bama, let's go back. Let's see, SILJ and MO at Mosaic. Yeah, so I did a big talk on the silver miners. I won't really go back through all of it just for the sake of time, but what I will say is, looks like we are getting that short squeeze. Israel and Iran, fizzles out. Market went super bearish on close. Everyone's off the wrong feet, but don't worry. We know what's really coming eventually. Look at that Bitcoin. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to take that high. It'll be interesting. Let's go back to your question. So silver miners. So if silver is topped, right? If it's topped here, the silver miners are going down, right? Why would the miners go up? And the miners still may be weak, because the miners fundamentally don't make a lot of money if inflation's going higher. If that's what's going to happen. So you have to keep an eye on those things. So SILJ, we'll look at the chart. So divergence there, that's the 45, the 4-hour. So you see how the 4-hour took out those peaks, but not this peak here, not the one, but it's taken out. So the 4-hour, based on the 4-hour, I will have to label it. So maybe SILJ is to say we need to be a little more bullish, the precious metals, than we are. But that's what I'd be looking for right now. Something like that. So that's SILJ. So this should be supported, but 4 could still dip more. The other alternative is it could become another, like we had here, like a 1, 2. This could become another 1, 2 if it goes deeper. It does look like it needs more downside short term, as you broke that low. It looks like either 5 waves down, higher down, or it already made the connector wave. It failed, and it's about to have a flush down. So either way, that's kind of how I look at this. If it goes deeper, it will be just kind of another 1, 2, but it should stay above this low as that happens. Mosaic, posted about Mosaic as an opportunity, and let me show you guys where that is. Mosaic has been in a bear market for quite a while. I've been asked about it. I've been saying, be patient, be patient, be patient. And finally, I looked at it one day. I was like, okay, enough's enough. I think it's time. But it is struggling at the trend line, right? But if it can break out, we'll have a wave 3 breakout, and maybe we'll get that any day now if we get out of this wedge. So long term, you got this nice little wedge and you're in the buy area and it's ready to push out. So I think it's ripe for reversal. It's been in a bear market all the way since April 22, and I think a time has come for that bear market to end and come out. the other side. Look at this. I mean, even technically, the weekly cycle is overdue for a short squeeze. I mean, even if it's going to go lower, you're due for like a nice healthy pump, right? You're due for a nice healthy pump on the weekly cycle. And then if it wants to go lower again, it can, but by then you could take some profit in it. Stop loss for me on this right now, I would say if you're trading it, really you have to respect this low at $24, right? And then if that breaks, you have to be much more careful. And then are you still long-term bull on? Yeah, on all those GDX, SILJ. For long-term investors that bought it early this year, you really shouldn't be going in and out of it. You should just be holding it. All right. Then Easy Twins. Let's see, UiPath and Geo. Well, it's just $5. So for each one, so I'll just do the first one, UI, I guess, or Path, UiPath. There it is. I'll do UiPath for you. UiPath. So we got this short here. We pulled back in 3. We're in this connector that looks like it ended right there. So we got another push lower coming. Now the thing is, this connector could still play on for longer. It's just not likely to do that. Yeah, at this point, it's kind of guessing here. Are we still in the connector or not? It could easily still take another swing higher, but I still believe that you got this push lower. And I will do the other one for you since I covered this so quickly. I'll do the other Geo one. GeoEV. GeoEV was a monkeypox one, right? Back when we saw that break out, and then it kind of fizzled away. Oh no, this is different. Wrong one. All right, my bad. So let's go to I don't know what this GeoEV. Canoe. Yeah, I think we remember doing this. All right, Canoe is in a wave 5, and that should be coming to an end at any moment. I mean, any moment. I wish I could predict the future. Yeah, bullish divergence on the daily. Yeah, that's good. So at any moment, this cycle's over. I mean, is it over now? We'll have to go to the shorter cycles and look. Yeah, more than likely that cycle, this cycle is over here on this low. Yeah, something like 1, 2, 1, 2, or we'll go with the lead-in diagonal look, the 3-wave look. WX. Yeah, so I think it's coming in as a lead-in diagonal. And then it nailed 5 down. So I think this is the chart now. As long as that 88 cents holds, yeah. As long as that 88 cents holds, this area, the chart's still good. If it breaks, this little pump reset this whole cycle. Looking at the 45-minute chart with that peak, taking all those peaks out. So then it could really go. We could see a lot more downside. So I think it's very important that this low on October 1st holds. If it can hold, then you could get a wave 3 come out of this. All right, so that's what you're looking for. You're hoping for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got to be something like that. Let's see here. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. And then this is an ABC, and I just have it's a different looking chart here. And that's 1, A, B, C. So either way, and I put the 1 there. So either way, that's kind of how I look at that. Okay, anonymous BitX. Yeah, BitX is telling you the market's bullish. It was our clue. The market tipped its hand. It's very rare that that happens. It tipped its hand, and that's how we knew to be more aggressive. And even it set up another buy here, BitX, at 29 the other day, and it broke this high. So BitX is telling me the market is the bulls are in control still. Now, if we want to push lower, we can easily do that. Now, see, you already got the pump. If it takes another leg lower, I'll show you a new buy area on BitX. It would be around 29.19. So it'll be a different box, a little bit down, a little bit lower down here. So that's possible, and we're still in 2. But BitX, I mean, look, guys, we broke this downtrend line. You know, this downtrend has been broken, and we're trying to come out. All right. Oh, Thomas is super chat. He wanted VAR, not an okay. Oh, I misread that. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Let's go back to look at that. VAR. I assume this is the one. If you look at it, you see how it broke the low. You're up in 3, down in 3. So this is a classic destroy bears, destroy bulls pattern, where it does that, does that, does that. So that's what the setup I'm seeing. Like, I don't even need to really like study it that much to know that's what's about to happen. And you can already see the reversal playing out here. But it's not a straight line. Like, it's got this C leg will have to be an impulse. So you're going to need like 5 waves up. But I believe it will come back up and tag these areas. Okay. Ahoy pins and Sono. All right, let's look at that. Oh, Pinterest. We called that wave 5 peak perfectly. Crash correction, took out the wave 5, hit the wave 4 cluster, hit the hit the trend line, and you're coming out. So more than likely this correction's over, and we're building a new wave higher. Right? And that looks like 5 up right there. Right, and we pulled back. So this looks like that cycle's over. So it looks like, yeah, it's about to come out. Something like that. All right, good luck on that. That's an easy chart. Sono. Whoa, what happened here? So this, you see this is an impulse down, but if you look, there's only 3 waves down on this 5th wave, so it's misleading. So this is kind of a mess here, and then this is really only 3 up. It's not really a 5-wave sequence up. So when I see charts like this, I always like to look at it from moving in 3s and not 5s. Right? So we'll come back to that. This is a very tricky chart to trade. So you're in some X wave mess, and you're in like x of x, which is why this is a mess here. So the question is where are you in x? A, B, C, D, E. So this could be so many things. I believe you'll have. I wonder if we call it complete. Let's just look at the divergences. Okay, you see how you reset that divergence there on that low, and then here. So yeah, so what I would do is call that x complete here, based on the divergences. And now it's trying to build a new y wave out. A new y wave out. As long as this low holds at 977. One, two. Yeah, this is an impulse off that low. Right? And then you pulled back, and now you're coming out. So, and then this looks like 5, or it could be a lot of things. So I think as long as you're above 1028, you should see more upside in Sonos. Yep. All right. Thanks again. And there's your reversal pattern playing out. Maybe all those homes destroyed in hurricanes need new Sonoses, right? I don't know. Who knows why? But here's where we're going. This is where the chart. This is what the chart is telling me right now. Based on that, now if that divergence didn't erase like it did, then I would have a different outlook. I would say X needs more downside. But as long as you're above that low, you should be good. All right, Mark V almost finished up here, and then I got to run here. Well, yeah, thanks again. And MKL. All right, that's a different one. Markel. I think that's one we haven't done before. Starting to go into its blow off top phase. Look at it. You see a bearish divergences playing out. But you have a cycle reset here. And you have divergence and a reset. So this is long-term bullish, but short-term do a pullback. I believe this leg is correct. He's going to correct this leg here. Or maybe it's already has. So we're correcting this leg since October 22. So very bullish long-term chart, but there's definitely pain coming, right? As this is over. This, that. That could be the count. It could be over, and we'll come back to 1273, then out. But like I said, there's no guarantee of that. It could keep going higher. You'll just have to decide. But I believe, I mean, you could see that this cycle is kind of going on so long. Like it needs a bigger pullback. And I believe it's susceptible to do that at any moment. And that would be another one too. All right, something like that. All right, ASML. Yeah, that was the one that took a big dump. We are looking to buy ASML at 491. 491, and you just got to be patient and let it play out. So that's the chart on ASML. You got Y, so you're gonna have like a connector wave somewhere, and then that will fail later. Maybe that's the connector wave here. Maybe it goes lower, bounces and fails. But I'm not interested in buying ASML until it's in this area right here. 491. All right, next super chat, Megan Dust. Dust is the short, I think. Is it short miners? Is yeah, bear shares 2x. So anytime I see I always look for like where did the cycle reset here, and then did we go and lower in a Fibonacci level first? And you can see we are in an area where it could reverse, where we know the miners could be pulling back. So this is an area that it could see a reversal out. We know it tends to move in 3 and 3, and this cycle's over, and we probably need a counter trend bounce. Let's go to the higher time frames. As you can see, pretty oversold here. It doesn't stay down here forever. Eventually it will come back up. I believe that moment is soon. This looks like 5 down, right? So there's 3 down, so we should be able to just chart an ABC down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we need 5 down on this end. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. And then there's your, yeah, this is it. So yeah, it's very close, if not there, right there, for a trade, for maybe a tradable opportunity, if you're interested in taking that. See that 3 waves, and then we bounce. Now we don't know what the bounce will look like. Will we get something like this? Will we get something more significant, like we've seen in the past? But it is due something, some kind of reset of the cycle, because nothing goes down in a straight line or up. So it does look like it should be ready to kind of retrace this 3-wave cycle. Retrace this cycle. In the 4-hour, the daily here does need to get to the overbought, and so does the weekly. It's because these trade-in cycles, right? The last weekly cycle high was on July 22. It's overdue for a reset. That's why I would be careful chasing gold, which we know gold is at a wave 5 of 5 moment, right? So that's that. Okay, ATER. Look like the last one here, and then I'll just scan your comments really quick and then go from there. And of course, Trading View is not pulling it up. Not sure what's up with that, so let me see if I could find it in my symbols, if I happen to have it. I do have it. Okay. So we had this 5th wave, and this cycle is over, as you can see. So that 5th wave is in, and now it's building a new cycle higher from this low at 189. It looks like you've got like a 1, 2, and then like a 3, 4, 5, and an ABC forming, something like that. But what I don't like, you see how the RSI peaked out on that peak? That's dangerous. That could still be corrective, which means the wave 5 can extend. So until you take this peak out with divergence, there's always a risk the wave 5 can go lower, like that. So there's no guarantee at the bottom's in, but this cycle is over. So it either is over or it's going to extend. We don't know. It's in kind of an area of limbo. And I'd be careful buying it or selling it. I would be on the sidelines, getting more data. But if you could take this high out, then that would be more confidence in longs. But if you do start breaking down, it could break down even more significantly than you imagine. Okay, guys, I got through every super chat. Appreciate all the super chats, guys. I'll just kind of scan through your comments. And I'll try to put a video out too. And I'll try to put a video out with just some general information for people that don't go to the live stream. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the chart and how to trade, and I'm not the one that coined that, but I've heard that from good traders. But it's so true. Just because you know how to chart doesn't mean you know how to trade. And there's people that chart like shit, but they always seem to win on trading, right? Because they trade the market like it's a poker match. And you guys know those guys out there, right? They have 100,000 plus followers, but they're always somehow winning calls like input. Like they just know how to they're just in sync, like psychologically with the market. Like the Tesla short into that event, the robo taxi event, is like playing the marker as poker, right? You could see sentiment was too euphoric, and like it was just so ridiculous. Like you didn't need to chart that shit. You could just short that. Like, and those guys know how to do it. But then there's people that know how to chart. They just don't know how to trade. They lose all their money because they just don't know how to manage risk and how to get in and out of positions and all that. Yeah, just scanning through it. Yeah, I guess Nokia's fucked. Yeah, don't go into Nokia. um, I think Monday's a short squeeze. Again, poker market, right? If you play the market like poker, everyone was bearish. They were worried about the war. They were hyping it up. And then it was like everyone kind of hug and made up on Friday night, and the bombs missed every target, or they intentionally missed, and they hit trivial items, and Iran graciously said they won't retaliate, and everyone was very happy and pleased, and Biden and Harris were very, pleased, and it was just like so market appeasing, and that is crazy. They're gonna read the history, but war in a bull market, man, is so different than war in a bear market. Wait till we get to a wave two low and war starts out. Holy shit. That's gonna be crazy. And that's what World War two was, right? That was after the depression, and a pullback off of that low, and that's the mentality of war. But I guess at the top of a grand super cycle, everyone's just so gracious when it comes to war. They wait till the markets close, and they give each other advance notice, and they say, oh, we're gonna bomb this and not that, but please don't hit us back here, and oh my god, I'm so sorry, I killed this like when did war become so polite, and like, wow, what a crazy time we're living in. um I'm surprised no one asked me about Celsius. Oh, there's someone did at the very end. No super chat for that. I do like Celsius, guys. I think that's a good buy. My son's a Gen Z person. All these Gen Z guys love Celsius. They're not into Monster, man. They're not into Monster beverage. They're into Celsius. The Gen Z beverage of choice is all Celsius. So that is a generational thing. We all made fun of Chipotle, but that was the millennial meal of choice. Like, I know millennials that eat at Chipotle every day. They're like, my body was sculpted by Chipotle. Like, they just eat there. They pay their $20 for a little bowl of rice, and they're just so happy as hell. And look how the stock. So you just don't know, some of these generational stocks like that emerge. And I mean, I have Gen Z kids, man, and they love Celsius. They're addicted to that shit. And I was talking to them about it. And it's like, and all his friends are into it. So I'm just saying, man, Celsius is, you may not drink it, but the kids, the younger guys, the guys in sports teams that are playing, they're all drinking that shit. Celsius. That's what they love. They say this is a non-carbonated version. So I'm just saying, man, yeah, Celsius is a buy. It's a buy, man. It's a buy right now. So for long-term investors too, based on the chart. Now again, I can be wrong, so don't yell at me if they crashes again. But I just see, it seems to me like it's a buy. But you manage your own risk and do your own thing. I can be wrong. But if it goes down, I'll lose money with y'all on that. So. All right, guys, that's the end. I gotta go. I got some things to do. Good luck trading, and we'll look for my Twitter chats tomorrow. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I think tomorrow's all about short squeeze and maybe getting some new positions, some new short positions again. Maybe, and especially looking at the Dow Jones stocks. The Dow has a good setup for a short. Potentially, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. All right, guys.